Hello and welcome back to Castle Doctrine. It has been a few days, a few eventful days for this house. It seems that the perils of recording the design of my traps have finally caught up with me. A house has survived enough episodes that a very large amount of people now know how to solve it. And this has led to some woes. Namely in the form of countless requirements to repair the house. Extensive repairs because the people who beat it sometimes aren't content to simply beat it. They want to break it in the most expensive way possible. Damn those people. But in the latest bit of time that I spent offline, I actually earned a bit of money. It was a little bit more than this. I have fixed some things, gone out, come back, so this is what's left, and I've just added a couple of dogs. And it didn't get robbed. I think perhaps part of my commitment traps did make a lot of people just turn away, which is interesting and useful. Hopefully these dogs will add a little bit more to this. Now, this isn't quite enough of a deterrent yet. We'd want about 6 or 9 dogs, if possible, to really make this work. But again, savvy person will just put the first dog to sleep or kill it, and all the other dogs will pile up behind. This is more for those who actually don't hang around and go straight down, because then the dogs will all pile up outside and block this entrance, thereby making the trap probably unsolvable, or at least unsolvable without expending an awful lot of money on taking out the dogs first. But we're going to just quickly run through and make sure everything is in place. Everything should be in place. I've repaired all the powered pits. People love breaking those. My lord. That should be on. That should be off. This should be on. Is that true? Yes, it is. Fantastic. I've replaced the dogs that got shot and unbroken the power doors that got broken. So everything is more or less in the right place. But I must confess, I am starting to draw to the end of my patience with uploading this particular house, and then literally within 40 minutes of me uploading, after having made significant changes, the house is broken. I mean, methodically broken. Oh, you. But I'm not done with Castle Doctrine. My intention, I'll probably keep playing this house until it gets a little bit more frustrating for me, and then I'll go out in style by trying to solve an unsolvable trap, and if I solve it, hurrah! I'll try and solve another unsolvable one until they kill me. But what I will do then is I'll start uploading these in batches. I'll record an entire house from the start of its sort of life cycle to the end when I eventually die, and only then will I upload that sort of set, that particular house. I really wish I could find the names of the people, because then I could upload them under the name of that particular household. But that seems like a better way of dealing with it than I'm currently doing. Let's add some doors. I've got a little bit of money to spend. Oh, well, no. There's not really that much point. There's no real guesswork involved. Let's just add some windows. Just for effect. There we go. Now, the cat is all set up, and if you dilly-dally around here, I'll just show you. The dogs do get loose. Maybe I'll kill myself to my own dogs. I don't know. But there we are. So we're going to leave, and now we're actually going to solve it. So we come down here. This isn't a permanent one. I did play around with possibly using that, but I like the idea of someone coming through here, deciding, yeah, I don't want any of this, going back up, going through the door, and then being eaten by a dog there because they didn't realize the dogs were there. And there is a reason for this particular bit of maze here. It's to ensure the maximum number of dogs get funneled into that small corridor. See, by forcing the player to move down here, up and around, you're expending turns, so that towards the end, once the dogs are released, the player is over on this wall, which means all the dogs are going to try and hug that wall while trying to get to him. So it should be good. Now, that's commitment. Come up here. Turn this off. You've seen me do this a few times before, so I'm probably not going to talk through it, even though the talking is more for myself, to remind me what I need to do, or not do, as the case may be. But in this episode, we're going to go out and get a little bit more money, and try to build up the last part of this trap, really. The second sort of puzzle hub up in the top right that will allow us to hopefully catch a few more people out, because it won't just be simple. Once you're in the main part of the maze, you're not very far away from the vault. I don't really like that. Currently, it's a little bit too straightforward. All of the action takes place in a very small area of the map. I want people to have to walk around a bit more. So there we are. We can check out some security tapes as well. There should be quite a few. Wow. Quite a few people died there as well. Someone got away with quite a lot. Kenneth John Diaz. Let's see how you did it. Came in here with lots of guns. What were you expecting? This is one of the broken systems, it looks like. No, it looks like Mr. Diaz knew exactly what he was doing, as you can see. Now, I don't want to be unfair to Mr. Diaz. It's quite possible that he knew what to do because he'd solved it several times. But this is something that people do quite often when they know how to solve the trap, I've noticed. People sort of dance on that last tile. That last chance for a moment of glory in one of my videos. Dancing for you, viewers. But in this instance, Mr. Diaz also made off with the money. Usually, they just hang themselves. So, I guess all of these people were after Mr. Diaz. So, how did they all die? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at one of the more recent ones. You. 38 had tried, 15 had died. What happened here? You came in with nothing, so you're probably not someone trying to give me loot, which is always nice to see. Let's move this a little bit faster. Show me how you ended it all. Oh. Well, there's really not that much left that can kill you. I think all of the really dangerous dogs have been taken out of the equation. There are a few little hotspots you could still get stuck in. Ah, like that one. Haha! Excellent. I wonder if a lot of people do that. Let's see another one. David Willard Reddick. Show me your secrets, Mr. Reddick. Oh, you came here fully equipped. And this is not a starting loadout. I think you came here to seriously try and solve some traps. So, what was your end? Plain and simple. Even though you had more than enough to get out. Why didn't you try? You could have put water there, then cut your way there and there. Well, actually, you'd only have had to have put water there, and that would have all shut off. So you could have just used one water to get out of that instead of hanging yourself. Poor old Mr. Reddick. Didn't think far enough ahead. Alright, we want some cash. So, let's see if we can find someone with a bit of money. Let's try you. Nathaniel Robert Erb. On second thoughts, let's leave. I'm not having any of those shenanigans. Let's find someone else. Frank Patrick Carpenter. Are you, in fact, a carpenter? Well, it would look as though someone has already broken this system. What an interesting way to preserve your wife's corpse, though. I like to imagine that this is a bottomless pit. This isn't just like the dull grey of shadowed stone that I can clearly see down there. It's just a little bit lower down, so not getting as much light. No, that's the murky kind of fog hanging over a bottomless pit. There are actually, like, you know, stalactites, or is it mites? I can't remember which ones point down or point up. Ah, damn you. I know a certain Jester who'll be able to tell me, and he probably will in the comments. But yes, the rocks that point down, the spiky rocks that point downwards on the bottom of this, kind of just hovering over a void. Somewhere deep, deep below, a seething chaotic mass. But no, we're not going to try it. We're going to go look for something else. But I do want to try one of the higher value houses. Not the stupidly high ones, because they are going to be combo traps. Wow. Mr. Wells, your house is popular. I'm not going to bother. Not when a house is that popular, anyway. Most people will have tried this and just given up. So I'm going to look for this one. Stanley David Garris. Rebecca. Wow, your father has a lot of pictures. I can only assume that your brother and your mother have already passed on. Jason. I wonder if that's Jason Raw. Probably not. I'm probably showing my ignorance there. Down goes Fraser. Delicate Arch. And Kiwi. That looks nothing like a kiwi. I've seen them. They are small. I've been to a kiwi sanctuary. In New Zealand even. And they are tiny. Tiny little things that run around on the floor. And are incredibly vicious. They don't look it, but they are. Trust me. Let's see. Lester Peter Fernandez. A lot of people have tried this house. It's probably going to be, yeah, something like this. Damn you. Yes, I thought so. I knew it would be something stupid like that. I could cut my way up there, but it's probably going to be a dog, so... You know what, never mind. I need a house that at least looks like I'm not going to be dying in it. I mean, I'm fully prepared to lose this particular character in some sort of epic burglary attempt gone wrong, but I'm not so keen on just throwing his life away. That would not be a fitting end. Someone did tell me what my character's name was, but I've forgotten already. William Donald Olson. Wow, wow. Are all of these asleep? No, they're all clubbed. Okay. Someone killed the family over several turns, it looks like. Wow. This is just bonkers. I would very much like all of you dogs to be stuck up there, honestly. But I don't think I'm going to get that wish. And I can't see any further down there, so I'm not prepared to throw my life away. This is a ridiculous amount of dogs, though, my lord. And unfortunately, whoever was trying to make a path out of their bodies ran out of family members to kill in order to do that. Good effort, though. You managed to trap quite a lot of them. But yes, we're leaving. That was crazy. Bad form on whoever is just willingly letting their dogs lie there dead. And their family, for that matter. Yeah, I should probably focus on the family and not the pets, but, oh well, it's clear where my heart lies. Protect the dogs. Wow. There's not many houses down here. You usually got like a load at about the 300 mark, but it seems they've all been cleared out. James William Buckles. That's a strong, honest sounding commitment trap. Charlie. And I have to walk over your corpse, Charlie. Several times, perhaps. I really don't want to. I'm just trying to see if I can see anything, but I can't. I'm tempted to cut my way through here, but the problem with this is that I've taken too long now. See, you might be tempted to think that, well, there's only one path, so that someone without tools would have to have gone across this path. Thus, it must be safe, but that isn't the case. You see, I dilly-dallied for a moment. But even if I hadn't, perhaps I should have. You know, there may be a cat running along, and there's only a very small window, a very specific time when you need to start walking. And that could be straight away, or that could be later by a certain amount of time. I think there's a switch there, though. But, damn. I mean, I could have already made this now impassable. I just don't know. Okay, fine. And it's a combination lock, of all things. No. All that preparing myself, talking myself into it, and it was a bloody combo lock. Let's see. We've done herb, I think. Brian Edward Harbin. I thought it said Hardin to begin with, but no. Mr. Harbin's house is fairly plain so far. Oh. Mr. Harbin? Mr. Harbin, I would like to cross your... Well, given that this is a conspicuously large room, I think there's some sort of thing in here you need to move around to guide creatures. Well done, Mr. Harbin. Well played indeed. Instead of having some sort of, haha, you make a wrong move, you die. It's more, if you don't make the right move, what? Someone is robbing me for $5? Possibly someone who knows my house name. We will see the security tapes. Let me just check what my security tape last entry is. Robert Frank Allen. Okay. Oh, actually, I would have known what the last entry was because it would be 00. Interesting. We might have something fun to watch before this video is over. Possibly. Maybe. Craig David Martinelli. Is that a pitbull? I think it is, you know. I think it is a pitbull. I can't tell if that's a collar or not, but if I try to go through there, I will kill myself. I wonder if you can... I wonder... Could you use a brick? I can't seem to go through that door without committing to either being eaten or it being a chihuahua. So I'm going to leave. But... Well done. You've completely convinced me not to even bother trying. That could easily be a chihuahua. And I could just be too afraid to try. And it could just be straight out there. This might not even be hooked up to a power plant. But I am conditioned to be afraid of it. Well done if that's the case. I applaud your use of trickery. Oh, no. Someone's still there. Hopefully they're trapped. But I really would like to go back with money so I can buy more dogs. Let's see. Brian Raymond Watts. What's in your house, Mr. Watts? Dogs. There are dogs in your house. Release the dogs, no less. Fine, I'm leaving. But yes, it does seem that there are slim pickings at the moment. So another benefit to me recording a lot of footage before I start uploading a particular set is that I can be a little bit more picky. I can record longer episodes, or longer footage anyway, and then cut it down to 30 minutes. So getting rid of periods where I'm just looking in houses to try and find one to rob. That might be well worth it. So you might start seeing that happen in the episodes following this one. Wow. It seems that 98 is the new 326. Let's find one that's got reasonable numbers. Wow. There are a lot of 98s. It seems that I chose a wrong time to come on and rob people. Perhaps if I left it for a little bit longer, it would build up. Oh, there we are. And I've still got my money, which means I wasn't robbed. But I don't have much money, which is a shame. I do have things I can sell, though, but I don't want to sell it all. I guess I could sell my gun. No, I like having my gun. No, we're going to go back out and check the security tapes. Did someone die or did they just decide to leave? Oh no, they died. 3 people have tried at this point. Wow. Let's see how you died, Philip Curtis Sargent. Okay. He's happy to move on. Oh, he got a sight of the dogs coming down, so he knows his doom is there. At this point, he can't go back anyway. But if he had the tools to break out of that commitment trap, he still couldn't get back to the front door thanks to the dogs. Well, that's the plan anyway. But yes, that large blank area up the top there, that is what we're going to be filling up with more traps. Oh, that was interesting. What were you doing there? Oh no. You seem thoroughly confused, though you know what to do there. Which is interesting. Perhaps I have just used that particular trick a little bit too often. Maybe it's becoming a bit more obvious, or maybe there are plenty of others who also came to the conclusion that that trick would work. So, perhaps I need to start doing that. Doing something else other than making it, oh, that obvious. Well, maybe he didn't then, I don't know. Possibly. Interesting nonetheless. But we need to go get more money. Let's see. Jacob Brian McGrew. This is almost certainly death. Yes. Yes, this is death. And I don't have ladders. Who'd have thought it? Death defeated by ladders. But it's true. Should always carry ladders everywhere you go. Frank Pat... No, we've been to Mr. Carpenter's house. Or a Mr. Carpenter, anyway. I don't know if that was the same one. No, I don't imagine this was the right one. But let's try... No, we've been there. Stanley David Garris. No, we've been there as well. Damn it. Either that, or there are a bunch of people all copying the same trap because it's so effective. But if it were that effective, they'd have more money. Well, let's check out some of the higher up houses. I'm not really going to attempt these guys, but Matthew F. Waters, what's your house like? Your house is a combo trap. Okay. I expected as much, honestly, from the top person on the list. Brian Kyle Gaston, what's your house like? It's a little bit different. How I would like to get down there. But you can't, because if you move down there, this is going to light up. That's the trap, I think. People think, aha, it's just down there. I just need to walk this way and then cut my way. Oh, wait, I'm dead because something stepped over a panel. So, I guess this is a case of picking your path. An interesting one this time. I mean, it's still obviously death. There's just too many options. You've got too small a chance to pick the right path, given how many possible paths you could take from what looks like here to here, because that's the only one that doesn't seem to have a dog by it. But you've added a little bit more temptation to your design. I approve. Lure those fools to their doom. Zachary James Young. I like the name Zachary. Okay. Powered. You've got a lot of art. Wow. You've got Doing Time, Prism, Knockout, Night City, Goth Knight. Wow, you've got a lot of art. Wow. But, no. Well, we can have... Yeah, no. I suspected as much. For you to have that much art and that much money, your house must not be all it appears. Jonathan Kenneth White. You've got a lot of people have tried, and almost a third of them have died. Bit of a commitment trap there. I could bust my way back out of it, though. Easily enough. Tempted to see what you've got. Oh. That's interesting. Very interesting. But no, we're going back out. I imagine, yeah, if you break the power here, all of these would shut off. That's a pretty cool trap, though. It's a nice way of doing it. A bit more interesting than just having thick walls. I like the aesthetic touch you've given there. Well done. But now I need to restock my backpack. And go back out. Well, it doesn't seem that there's much going on. So, what I am more than likely going to be doing is doing a lot of robbery off-screen of these low-value houses, unfortunately. Glenn Andrew Caldwell. A broken home already. Oh, there we are. Nice and easy. We'll probably do a lot of those burglaries off-screen. Come back, place more dogs, and start work on this system up here. I will probably do most of that off camera. The actual work I do on the trap, I'll probably like record sections of as I'm working on that bit, and then probably as I'm validating the system again, because something could go horribly wrong and I could die, and I want to catch that on camera if I can. But the robberies I'll be doing off camera will by and large be the simple robberies that don't involve much risk, but when I get bored and decide to try something out, again, I'll start recording again and just like cut that into the footage. Just to show, well, the interesting things that are around, because right now it actually really seems like slim pickings. I don't know if a lot of people have died recently, so they're rebuilding their houses, or I don't know. I really can't. I've not noticed it be this quiet. They're all either like obvious death traps or just simple. Like, you know, someone hasn't properly built up their house. It's already been broken or something. Kenneth Rodney Clayton. Like this. Paul, Ashley. Yeah, it's best get out. And let's go back out again. And let's see if we can find something interesting. Philip Gray Wells. I think I've been there. Wilfred Joshua Lizard. That's an interesting name. Yeah, nice tomb, though. I approve. I approve greatly of this tomb. Very, very nice design. Though, death trap. I don't know which way to go, and one of them is going to lead to death. So, we're leaving. But I very much liked what you were able to do with your wife's corpse there. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything quite as grand. I cannot honor her in the same way, alas, because the person who killed her on the doorstep just to spite me. I'm certain they did it just for that reason. They could have walked in and killed it, but no, they just waited, knowing that it would make making a tomb impossible. Kelvin Malik Price. Let's check your house out. Oh, no, another one like this. What on earth? Why? You swines. So one or the other way is going to be correct, but no. Poor old Kelly. She died because you made such an annoying trap, dude. I hope you know. I hope you fully appreciate your part in the death of your daughter. Let's try Brian Raymond Watts. Oh, have I already been here? Yes, I have, actually. When I'm actually thieving off camera, I write down the names that I visit, so that I don't keep visiting them again, but I don't want to keep stopping to write down names while I'm recording. Let's see. No, we've got to go a little bit lower to get to the easy stuff. Let's try John Patrick Sewell. Wow. This place has been ruined. I mean, truly ruined. And there wasn't actually much to it either. All of this stuff around here and just... wow. That surprises me. Why have all of that cool stuff lying around? Like, you know, thick walls, different materials, dogs clearly somewhere behind, if it was just a path straight to your vault. How peculiar. Christopher Scott Howe. Are all of these dead and not asleep? Renee, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. Chad and Danielle. Okay. Bit of a continental house there. European immigrants to America, it seems. Trying to blend in, naming the son Chad, as is the way of the time. Let's see. We'll just go for you. William Ezra Weaver. Oh, Ezra. I recognize that name from Fairy Tale. Gail Scott. Nicholas... oh, no, not Gail Scott. Gail Shot. Nicholas and Heather. Well, doesn't look like there are dogs racing towards me. And if there are, well, I've doomed myself now. Anything interesting? Oh, fairly simple. I accept. And on that note, we're going to do the last thing of this episode is going to be place down the rest of our pit bulls. There we go. So there will now potentially be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pit bulls arrayed outside the door. which is kind of what we want because they're going to have to use up a lot of tools just to get down through them. If we could make it 9, actually that's a good idea. Because already they would be out of tools. Well, it wouldn't be yeah, that would more or less make this system unsolvable if someone had already solved it. Right, okay, that's what I'm going to do off camera then. I will probably move this down about another 3 spaces in order to get all 9 dogs down that corridor. Maybe with another 3 then on top. Well, we could just fill it out. We could just go all the way up to 15 dogs, but I hate that sort of thing. But it seems that it's probably going to be one of the most effective ways of shutting someone out once the system has been broken. But before we leave, I will revalidate the system, and then it'll probably be a few days before I record again. I'll start, rather upload again. I'll start cutting the footage just to remove all of the boring burglary stuff, because a lot of this episode was me looking for somewhere to burgle rather than me actually doing any of the fun puzzle solving that you have come to expect from this game, and I have come to expect as well. But we do still have a part of the trap to build, a part of the puzzle element of the trap to design. We haven't even decided on how it's going to work yet. But that should be all we need to do. There we go. There. That trap is now up on the market. I will count the minutes until it is solved perfectly and then ruined by someone coming back to break it all. But that's it for this episode. Like I said, the next one may be a couple of days away as I just gather enough footage to make an interesting episode. But if this one gets broken too quickly and too well, I guess, the next episode may be me just consigning myself to fate, just accepting it and going off to try and solve some of the more difficult traps. And possibly, maybe even committing to trying to solve one of the combination locks on the off chance that I can and become stupidly rich. But probably won't happen. In which case, a new family will be generated. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll join me for the next. But until then, do take care.